viewers, this reframe will be different from all the ones you have seen before.
Really excited about this one. Love the location, and it's my pet topic as well. So.
A few moments later, Moon, where are you?
Where we are.
Oh, hi Moon, good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
You know what? As soon as you've reached, I've got to change my shoes. I think I'll be more comfortable in my sneakers.
Yes, yes,
Just give
absolutely.
me a moment. Can I
Look at the place.
do that, please?
Yeah, please.
It's such an amazing place. I mean, it's quite unbelievable what you can actually have so close to a city.
Hi Sibani.
Hi, Dhara. So good to see you again.
Nice to meet you.
And I can see that you've made much more improvements in the place from what I had seen last time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a very, very long time.
And this is recent. We've been working on creating, either it can be like a table art on a table.
Okay.
So it can be artwork on your wall, or if you put the legs, it can be. There's all discarded wood, reclaimed wood, and other
Keys.
keys. This is sheets from our container, scrap from the container when we
This
work
also
on.
looks like the material board, generally given samples, no?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but they are like, so we also have similar posters as well. So there are a lot, and this is all like experiments that we started NGO also, I mean non-profit, yes. So we're doing a lot of experiments with we call it a
These
project
are
Stitch Lab.
packets,
Yeah,
right?
so these are packets of all foil wrappers. These are like chindis. We have tire tube stitched, and we have milk packets.
Oh my
So
goodness.
basically, we are experimenting with all material that are stitchable, because see, the
Okay.
ladies in the villages and all, they all have sewing machines. And if we can create a project where all the different materials that can be stitched,
What
so
is
even
that
this is
now?
tire tubes.
Oh my goodness.
So
Okay.
the idea is to create a project around that for a non-profit.
And is there some story behind those artwork there?
Yes, the frames are made with Reframe, like packaging wood, and some MDF that we retrieved from interior sites. And we took donations from children who painted these artworks, and we are going to put it in a hospital in the village for children ward and other to decorate. They are liven up that spaces. So we have 50 artwork which kids have given us, and we just frame them with the discarded materials. we have extended the space, which is also we are using on the rear side of this. And yeah, rest is all what you see here.
What I have been working on is workplace strategy. And one thing that really comes to mind when I actually see a place like this is, post COVID, a lot of organizations are actually struggling to get their, employees back in the office. And there's a lot of waste of space, right?
Right.
And on the other hand, there are developers who are actually building so much. I think they should really take inspiration from the way you repurpose and, give everything
Right.
a new meaning, right? And what are your thoughts on that?
So repurposing build space is something like not very new.
Mhm.
Like we have seen something called adaptive reuse in build space, which is very popular. Like there are a lot of examples in India as well. We have seen old textile mill into a huge shopping mall in
True.
Mumbai.
Right.
So many forts, palaces, havelis as a
Right.
hospitality spaces. So there's a lot happening. Only thing is we need to put it in the context of the office spaces. What's happening in office spaces? I don't know if I think aloud. There is a lot of need for co-working spaces. There is a lot of need for incubation centers, which are coming up for so much startup scenarios nowadays. So why not somebody think about using these spaces which are empty on similar usages? So you don't have
Right.
to change much actually,
Yeah.
and you can do away with small alterations or additions and maybe use that space. So
You've given us a brilliant example, but I think your focus has been on materiality, right? And what is it that corporates can do differently, kind of to increase the life of the material?
So one majorly what corporates can do, because they have a lot of material requirements. First, to start from, use what you actually need. Right,
Mm-hmm.
we have to start with first R, which is reduce. So they should first look into the strategies what they can do so that they can reduce the purchases and consumer whatever they are consuming.
Mm-hmm.
And second has to be the life of the material. Like, can you stretch it? Can you kind of make a policy to repair a lot,
Kind of what?
and kind of extend the life of any material that is been happening. So that is one another major thing I've seen in big corporate offices, is that their material span is very short.
Short.
Even if things that are there which can be used
Mm-hmm.
is generally taken out.
Yeah.
So instead of that, that I feel they have a power to kind of change this
Mm-hmm.
in their own community. So
Yeah.
that is where, like, our effort has been here in the studio is always like extend the life of materials as much as possible. So that's what I feel we can kind of
So you are talking of truly sustainable practices. And one thing we've noticed is, or we've been reading about, if there's a culture of sustainability in the organization, employees feel, better to be associated with that organization. They feel proud to be, associated with that organization. So, can you think of, you know, various ideas that actually organizations can do, like let's say specific things, you
right.
know? Uh,
So yes, have a seat. We can kind of there's a huge awareness already getting created. Basically, we hear a lot that they want to have sustainable practices, and so sustainable practices SDGs are in discussions and decisions in most of the kind of organization industry right now. But I feel there is still some gap. Lot of sustainability factors are there, especially environment and social concerns are already part of lot of actions. At
right.
the same time, waste related and what we call it like such circularity is one part of or a major part of a sustainability area. So
Mhm.
bringing materials back in the system is still new. I mean,
Right.
there are things happening, but I think there is a very lot of space there where this can be implemented right from beginning. As I mean, I'll repeat that, selecting the right products or extending the life of the products, and lastly kind of utilizing that and putting these waste or non-usable items from their institute back in the system. So
Right.
that way I think there is a still there's a gap which can be bridged.
So there, I think I would feel that organizations also can think more creatively or get people like you on board who can actually do that, because I think there's a pressure on corporates to have the trendiest office, the slickest looking spaces, but many a times I think they do not understand that this can actually become a slick product, right? I think you
Yes.
might have worked on projects like that, right?
Yes, yes. So we have, so one other thing about upcycling notion which we have in our mind is that when things are made out of scrap, it should look like scrap. It's wrong.
Right,
Like it
totally.
has to look at par with the new product.
Sure.
And we have always been focusing on that whenever our outcome is, shared. So that if that reaches to the corporate, like you can still think, and some of the scars and marks and stains which can give you a a kind of a put off can become your celebration
Yeah,
part
it
in the
can be the
product.
beauty
It
of the
can be the
product,
beauty of
right?
the, so that scenario we have to change. I mean, we have to show people, and that has to be practiced.
One thought that comes to my mind is when corporates, they these game changers actually. They're huge, they've got deep pockets. While on the other hand, you can see that there's a lot of awareness and all of that that is lacking amongst the masses. Do you think there can be some kind of collaboration, or have you actually participated in some collaborative effort where actually, things are really changing on ground or can be affected towards that kind of change?
So with the corporates and the large kind of communities, we have we
I would
have
love to
worked.
see this actually.
Yeah,
Oops.
yeah. While
Sorry.
coming back, so we have done a lot of workshops, and there's activities which are more hands on and action based. So when we do that, first is idea is to change the mindset of that small community,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe through some CSR activities, and they do a lot of other activities which involves schools, other kind of large organizations or regular mass
Mm-hmm.
public,
Mm-hmm.
and they can carry forward or introduce those concepts to them, because then it is more effective, and it's like kind of a multiplying in the numbers when it comes to
Surely.
changing the mindset. But start has to happen with the small community, and I think corporate being that can be that community, because they also have forward thinking. They
Mm-hmm.
are already there, and it also aligns with their goals. So doing small activities which can not only be virtual but in a physical world will have more impact. And we
Surely.
have seen that by rather than watching videos about it, if somebody did a small exercise or make something from something which they thought mundane, is keeping impact very long or very strong in the anybody's mind. So
Mine.
that's what we have been doing. We conduct these small activities and workshops, and we talk and we interact, we question, but at the same time there has to be some action plan showed, not only talk about what is happening and things are happening which are wrong and numbers, but at the same time see examples what others have done, and then try to bring that in our own context. So these are the things that we are doing with corporates, and we hope to do in a slightly more intense way.
Bigger manner, and
Yes.
you hold those over here, is it?
Yes,
I'm sure
most
a lot
of
of people will be
yes. So
interested
most
hearing
of
that.
the things are here. Though the people do ask us to come to their environment, but I have seen that when somebody comes here, we don't need to explain much.
True.
It's
I can
like it's
imagine.
felt. It's felt.
Yeah.
So our efforts are that we can bring more people here.
We're doing this just to get some insights on the person that you are. Just a rapid fire fun session.
Sure.
So, tea or coffee?
None. Water.
Beach or mountain? I think I know the answer.
Yes, mountain any day.
You can see that all
Yeah.
around. So, who's been your biggest inspiration in life?
There are people whom I'm inspired with, but I think biggest inspirations are small things surrounding. So surroundings and context, wherever I am, is always like inspiring.
What's the most unusual thing you have upcycled?
Unusual thing.
Yeah. Because I can see that all around.
Yeah,
and I'm sure
there's
there
a
must be that
lot, but
one
yeah, there
for-
are some things that are weird. What people find it weird. So one is like rusted things. It's like I'm fascinated with things that are
Really?
rusted. You will see also like in the entrance of the door or wherever. So I've been like using that element of rust, which is organic, and the texture is organic. And there's one other thing recently I have been collecting is scraping of paints.
Okay.
So, but
My
I'm
God.
connecting. I still yet to be used, maybe in art or something like that.
So you're still creating that
Yeah,
in your
that's
head.
still going in my mind. Yes.
Interesting. And what's your most prominent workplace distraction? I know you're a creative person, creative genius, but what is it that
No,
one thing that
finding
you...
a new scrap around me. It's not a project.
Okay. Okay. Can you name 3 eco-friendly swaps of habits everyone can adopt to reduce their environmental footprint? I thought we should ask you this.
Yeah, I think this is the question which everybody asks, and changing our habits. Basically, one is not to see waste as a waste, but as a resource. So when we have things which we don't need it, we should not think it as useful cheese or unusual things, but we should think it as it is useful to somebody or somebody else or something else or something like that.
So it'll definitely have another usage.
Yeah, so that is the one I feel is a required change of mind that we all should have. So these are cycle tires. It can also become a wall.
Right?
These are motherboards. There's still yet to be a glass top coming on top of this. This is upholstery from milk packets. Milk packets. And we also have one chair upholstered with this foil wrapper fabric. So basically we create a fabric and we also stitch on top of either rice bags or old bed sheets and things like that. So whole in whole, except the threads, everything is second use.
This is the section where I need my glasses, okay, because there's a question here which I don't know what it is. It's called the Bristol question of the day.
Okay.
Let's see what it says for you. What innovative projects or practices do you believe hold the greatest potential for promoting sustainability and circularity in today's world? And how can organizations actively contribute to these efforts? I think you've touched a little upon this, but yeah.
First part of the question is what practice that I would prefer. Like we have been upcycling, and upcycling journey has been, I mean, it's been uh, 14 years, but still kind of materials that we would get is not something that we have exhausted. Still we get something always new, and something that we want to make out of is new. So for me personally, experimentation is the core of this whole activity, because there are no guidelines yet that how one would use one particular type of material into the solution that we are looking for. Without experimenting, I feel this whole thing would not ever work. And that is where we also have this like what we call it scrap library. And we have been collecting discarded materials. Everybody does that, but let's say when we put it in a manner that it is looked up as a resource.
Surely.
So that is like a collection of all things that comes out of our own homes, or sometimes some sort of a workspaces. So looking at this and having the ability to collect and clean and kind of keep it a resource as waste as a resource, and then experiment with this. So this is our main I feel is the core to what we have been doing. And your second part of the question is what
Can
organizations can do. I think waste management is one thing that has still more potential. Like it is done as per the rules and regulation, but let's say at the core, when you have a large body of people, there's a lot of things that is coming out. So if that is looked in creative way.
Mhm.
You segregate it at source and you find applications of each material and possibility of using those materials in your own organization first,
Mhm.
and then when you can do it, send it for recycling and put back in the circle. So
Sure.
that is what I feel possible.
Yeah, so in your case, what I've noticed is, of course, you are deeply into this, and you probably see a product, and in your mind starts working. But do you also see that organizations are actually doing something like this, or they just simply go to the discard mode? Are they just going, or they call you in as the expert? Please think this out for us. Or do you come across people who are creatively actually doing this on ground?
I think it would be a mixed answer. So I see a lot of awareness and a lot of kind of curiosity that yes, I want to do something, I want to be responsible. So those kind of queries have come up, and we receive a lot of calls where people are saying that we have this waste and we would responsibility get it to you, and maybe you can make use of it. But the sad part of it is kind of the quantity of discarded materials that are coming out is so huge, because we have been discarding so much, and unfortunately the takers for upcycled solutions are very very small. So I feel creativity is there with everybody. I think there we have enough designers, architects, or even the regularly people, creative people, they can create these things. But the
Surely.
thing is, I think the more need is to change the mindset, where people will receive these solutions as a very kind of in a different manner, not only for economical reason but for environment or aesthetics reasons, and that could change. So that's where the need is.
So the intention is very important,
Yes,
is what I
so
would
of
say.
taking it back, so
Right.
its intentions to just discard nicely is already there, it's coming there.
Surely.
But now we need to think that solutions that have to be more receptive by people who are using it. We need to find more user of these people, not something on creators. I mean, it will happen, like it's a supply and demand
It's a
cost.
whole
So
cycle,
we
right?
have supplies are already began, but now we have to have a demand
Right.
of this. Oh, can you guess?
I would have not thought. I was wondering
Yes, so
actually
this is a
myself.
safety door converted as a bench, and only
Oh.
new material which we have added is the wood and couple of bars. Even the legs are with the frame which came with the door.
Oh, there I can see the. See,
Yes.
it's only after you mention it that it actually strikes me that, oh, okay,
Yes.
that's what it is.
So that's the part that, let's say, if you look at the space also, there are materials which we would never thought that it can come from. Like this flooring is come from a museum that was getting renovated.
Okay.
So they were discarding, and we were at the receiving end, and it's been like so also the way we have fitted, of course this can be fitted nicely, but we thought to do it
Keep
like
it
a dry
rustic,
fit
right?
and dry fit, so reduce new material as much as we need it.
When you talk about corporates, I'm sure a lot of this, I can see that y'all are those genuine practitioners of what upcycling, sustainability is. But can't this really be brought in on a bigger scale into corporates so that, the reach is far higher? And what would be your, ideas on how this can be done?
So first is you, as we already mentioned, that we can do up the whole space with the concept. But if not, we have been proposing this like introduction to this concept to the corporates. Like a lot of people can't come here. So if we take these ideas to their offices, make it part of their offices where the day to day life, like they have lounge areas. So we have this kind of upcycle lounge. We can install some of these materials in their spaces as a scrap library that stays in front of them daily, and maybe there is an inspiration to create something out of that. In fact, some of the corporates are also kind of a funding part of the project where we can install these scrap libraries in the schools.
Okay.
So the children can use it as their materials to have their models and small DIYs and other things. So basically make them think. Idea is to make them think, be it in front of them daily, and then when it gets practiced more and more, it's on its own, it's scaled up.
Surely, surely.
So scaling up won't be happening by the team, but it has to be by the people who will start doing it on their own, and that's where the whole change can come.
It's been such an insightful conversation, and I really must thank you for giving us an entry into this space. I feel honored.
No, Sibani, you are
privileged,
always
actually.
most welcome.
Yeah, and I hope a
Anytime.
lot of lot more people follow suit and actually practice this.
Yes.
So that we're no longer just talking about sustainability to get a rating, but we genuinely practice it and try and save our beautiful earth.
Yes, that's what hope for, and that's what the mission is. But it was really nice meeting you after such a long time, and you are most welcome anytime,
I will
whenever you
surely
just
come
feel
back.
like. Yes.
Madam, so it is, I think,
Thank you.
privilege of Bristol having you in this episode.